What is going on, folks? It is time for this week's Millennial Magdump, and this one's going to be a bit of a doozy. Gun-free zones. I understand that and wholly support private property owners' right, for businesses or whatever to say, you know what, no guns allowed here. Don't agree with their decision, but I agree with their right to do that. That is their property. If they don't want guns there, whatever. That's their choice. Now, I know for me, where I live, those signs don't carry force of law. So I think if they found out you were carrying, they can ask you to leave. If you don't leave, they can call the police and have you escorted out. But you're not immediately breaking a law just being there with a gun. So I'm not telling you to do anything. No legal advice is being given in this video. Check your local laws, whatever, your conscience, whatever you're willing to do. But there is that. I do tend to stay away from places, though, that have those signs up, and my reasoning for that is simple. Number one, you have to wonder if they may have been the target of a violent crime before to have that sign up, and assess the likelihood that that's possible for that to happen again. Because the number one thing with self-defense, right, is risk mitigation, not getting yourself into a situation where you need to defend yourself. That's the first step, probably the most important one. But sometimes you have no choice but to go somewhere with that sign. So if you're going to leave your gun in your vehicle, do so securely. Don't leave it just sitting on the passenger seat in the middle of plain view. Don't just, whatever, keep it secure. You don't want somebody else getting it and doing something bad with it. Number two, if you are going to carry, concealed means concealed. So do with that what you will. If they find out you're carrying and they ask you to leave, you do need to respect the fact that that is their private property. You are not entitled to conduct yourself in a manner that they have said, don't do that, whatever. You need to get out. Think about how if you had somebody over at your house or your place of business and they tried to get you to rewrite their rules or tell you were wrong, whatever the subject matter. That's their private property. Leave. Don't be an asshat. The other side of this, though, is what a gun-free zone does. First of all, there's not a magic barrier, right? When you say no guns allowed, there's not a force field that electrocutes people if they walk in with a gun. They can still come in there with a gun. The only people that are going to obey that sign are the people that give a shit about it, one way or the other. So I know I was just saying, if you do go in somewhere, yeah, but you're not going in there to commit a crime, right? If you are intent on committing a crime and you see a sign like that, I mean, you have to look at that from their point of view. That looks like an easier picking. That's like leaving food at knee height and then expecting your dog not to eat it. If somebody's bent on doing violent things to good people and they see a sign like that, that's kind of an open invitation, in my opinion. They're looking at that and they're like, oh, cool. My gun will be the only one in there, or there's a good chance my gun will be the only one in that environment. Cops are not everywhere. I think the nationwide average response time is 12 minutes. 12 minutes is an eternity. 12 minutes is longer than most of my YouTube videos. Definitely longer than any of my Millennial Magdump videos. That is a long time, especially if you're fighting for your life. Like, that is, you can't rely on that. Too much can happen. It's just not acceptable to me. So, and that's not so much not saying the cops' response is unacceptable. What is unacceptable is thinking that they're going to get there to save you, because they're not. Statistically, they are not. And they get there in time to do the paperwork and to draw chalk outlines. So, I don't think that's a good way to go through life, relying on them to defend you. So if you are going to carry, I just ask that everybody be mindful of where you're going. Are you putting yourself at unnecessary risk? And I think collectively we need to look at some of the places that are gun-free. As a society, we have, and I know I don't mean to spark the whole guns in schools debate again, but something's got to give. If we have our financial stuff guarded with people with guns, we have sporting events guarded with people with guns, maybe our kids deserve that same level of protection. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but just be careful. By all means, if you know a business is anti-Second Amendment from the jump, and you have an option, I would encourage you to shop elsewhere. I know I do. Nothing will get my wallet to shut faster than a company stating that their position on the Second Amendment is, yeah, you're not getting my money. Not that I have a whole lot to spend in the first place, but you're not getting it. So there's that, guys. Just be mindful. Check your local laws on whether a no guns allowed sign carries force of law where you're at. You don't want to get yourself in some legal hot water over that. So just plan ahead, plan accordingly, and be safe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.